Hello, everyone. Today we are learning about simplifying algebraic expressions. You know you've got this when you can identify terms, like terms and unlike terms, combine like terms, use the distributive property to remove parentheses, and write word phrases as algebraic expressions. So our key vocabulary for today are term. What does a term mean? Numerical coefficient. Like and unlike terms, and what does it mean to combine like terms? So a term is a number or the product of a number and variables raised to powers. The numerical coefficient, sometimes they call it the coefficient, we're just going to call it the coefficient of a term, is the numerical factor. So you'll see down here, so like when you're doing 5x cubed, 5 would be the coefficient, okay? 4xy squared, the 4 is in the front. When there's nothing in front, you assume it's a 1. So identify the numerical coefficient in each term. So what is in front of that? It is the -6. You can always pause these videos if you need to write stuff down real quick. Identify the numerical coefficient in 55y. It will be 55. What's the numerical coefficient in -z? Remember I said that you assume a -1 is in front, so it's -1. So like terms are terms that have the exact variables with the same exact exponents. Unlike terms are terms that are not like terms, obviously. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that even if you have something like 5xy, it has to have something exactly like that to have the same like terms, okay? So if you have, for instance, so these are like, if you have 5xy and 3x squared y, those would not be like terms because the x is squared in this one. So to combine like terms, add or subtract the numerical coefficients as appropriate, and then multiply the result by the common variable factor. So what does that mean? So are those like or unlike? They're unlike because the x has a square. Okay, are these like or unlike? Well, let's take a closer look because we got a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, so we have x squared, x squared, x squared, y cubed, y cubed, y cubed. So yes, those are all like terms. And let me erase that so you can see it. So yeah, every variable and its exponent match. So those are like terms. Okay, are these like terms? Yes, they are, because they both have an x and a y. Even though these are in a different order, that's okay. Now, in the future, going forward, we always want to, if we have multiple variables in the same term, we want to write them in alphabetical order. Okay, so you can see they're the same thing. All right, so terms before combining and after combining. All right, so we can combine 6x squared plus 7x squared because the x squareds are the same. So 6 plus 7 is 13. 19xy minus 30xy. So 19 minus 30 is -11. And 13xy squared minus 7x squared y, those are not like terms because the exponents on the variables don't match. So it cannot be combined. Simplify each expression by combining like terms. Okay, so they are like terms. So we're going to say 5x minus 2x is 3x. 12y squared plus 2y squared is 14y squared. So realize that I'm only adding the coefficients in front. All right. I'll give you a chance to do these. You can pause the video and write them down. And there are your answers. So let's look at C for a second. So we have 7x squared plus 4x minus 6x. Now you can only combine these two because those are the only like terms, which is how I got -2 at the bottom, because 4 minus 6 is -2. All right, so simplify each expression by combining any like terms. So 7x minus 2x, those are like terms. That would give me 5x, and then plus the 4. All right, simplify each expression by combining like terms. So let's look for the like terms, okay? So I'm going to circle everything that has a y. So I've got negative 9y plus, remember that's a 1y. So negative 9 plus 1 is negative 8y. And then you have all the other stuff that's left that's just constant. So 2 minus 1 is 1, plus 6 is 7, minus 7 goes away. So negative 8y would be your only answer. Okay, so now let's combine these like terms. So when we're doing this, I want y'all to look at anything that has the highest exponent and then works its way down, okay? So I want you to look for the term with the highest exponent, which in this case is x to the 5th. So we're gonna go 1.6 x to the 5th minus 0.3. Realize I'm getting the sign from in front. So 1.6 minus 3 would be 1.3 x to the 5th. And then you can't do anything with the 0.9 x squared. So you just leave it. Okay, next one, find each product by using the distributive property. So I've got, I'm gonna go ahead and multiply the 2 times the x and the 2 times the y, and I would get this 2x plus 2y. I am going kind of fast because most of this should be a review from pre-algebra, if not all. Okay, so find each product by using the distributive property. Again, you're gonna 7 times x, 7 times 2y, and 7 times negative 5z, which is all down there. 7x plus 14y minus 35z. Okay, find each product by using the distributive property to remove the parentheses. So negative 4 times 3a. You're supposed to do this one, so I'll go ahead and give you a second to do it. Go ahead and pause. Okay, and you should have gotten that at the bottom. Very good. Let's see. Okay, simplify the following. So in this case, we're going to have to distribute and then combine like terms. So we're doing both. So I'm going to distribute. So I would get 6x minus 12 and then plus that 2. So now I can combine these. So negative 12 plus 2 is negative 10. Okay, simplify the following. So I'm going to distribute. So I've got negative 15x, negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. And now I'm going to distribute this negative. Remember, that's assumed to be a negative 1. So negative 1 times 4x is negative 4x. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. And now you're going to combine like terms. So you're going to get negative 15 minus 4x is negative 19x. And negative 10 minus 1 is negative 11. Okay, number 6C. So this one is a you do. I see the answer's at the bottom, but pretend it's not. Go ahead and pause. Okay, I'm going to work it out now. So you get 6x minus 15 minus x minus 7 because we're distributing. So you get 6x minus x is 5x, and negative 15 minus 7 is negative 22, which is the answer. Okay, so you can pause it and look at all these words that symbolize what it would be as algebraic expressions: addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. Okay, so number 7 says, write the following phrases as algebraic expressions and simplify if possible. So 5 decreased by a number and the quotient of a number and 12. Okay, so 5 decreased. So decreased means subtraction, right? And then B, the quotient means division. So let's see what we have here. So in words, 5 decreased by a number, x. And then in B, the quotient of a number and 12. So C and B, how the quotient of a number and 12, you write it like this. So a number, the quotient of a number and 12, x divided by 12. All right. So write the following phrases as algebraic expressions and simplify if possible. Okay, so we're at 6 times the sum of a number and 2. So 6 times the sum of a number and 2. Anytime that you see the word sum or difference, well, not anytime, most of the time you see the word sum or difference, you're going to be talking about parentheses. Okay, so 6 times the whole sum. So the whole sum of a number and 2. So that's how we would write it. And of course, any variable can be used. Oh, it says let x represent, whoops. So I would let x, yeah. Okay, 7C. So triple a number, let x decrease by 6. Again, this should all be kind of reviewed from pre-algebra. So you know you've got this when you can identify like terms and unlike terms. So they have the same variable with the same exponent. Then we can combine them by adding or subtracting the coefficients in front. Use the distributive property to remove parentheses by multiplying everything inside the parentheses, and write word phrases as algebraic expressions. Do you really understand? What is necessary for 2 terms to be combined? They have to be like terms. Each variable and its exponent match exactly. Explain how to simplify this. So change the sign of each term inside the parentheses and remove the parentheses. And it is the same thing as multiplying by a -1. So if we did that, what would we get? We would get -4x plus 2y minus 1. There you go. That's it. I hope everything worked out, and you can always go back and review it if you need to.